Hi everyone, I'm Rockin' Robin, and in today's episode I'm going to show you how to make chicken chimichangas. And we're going to stuff those with some rotisserie chicken, refried beans, Spanish rice, and we're going to add a little cheese to that, and we're going to go ahead and cook it two different ways for you. One, I'm going to fry it in a frying pan, and the other, I'm going to bake it in the oven. So depending on how you like it, you get to pick how you want to cook it. And then we're going to top it off with some sour cream and homemade guacamole. Don't miss it. Alright, so before I go over all the ingredients with you, I want to mention that a lot of these ingredients have already been prepared ahead of time. And I have videos for you to make all of it, so not to be a problem. Alright, so let's start off. First we're going to need some flour tortillas, and I have them right here in my tortilla oven, which I like to use. I have a rotisserie chicken here that I've already skinned and deboned, and then I shredded it up with 2 forks. Here is my homemade refried bean recipe, and over here is my homemade Spanish rice recipe. Here I made some enchilada sauce. This is my own recipe, and it only takes about 10 minutes to whip up, so it doesn't take long at all. And then over here I have some shredded Monterey Jack, my homemade guacamole, and we'll need a little bit of sour cream. Okay, so before I get started cooking, I just want to mention that all of your ingredients need to be hot. So our rice is already hot. I cooked this yesterday, by the way. I cooked the rice and the beans yesterday just to make it a little easier. And so I reheated everything in the oven, so everything's nice and hot. The enchilada sauce I made just a little bit ago, so that's hot. The only thing we need to do is heat up our chicken. So that's what we're going to start with. And I do have my oil here, and I'll talk about that in just a minute. Let me go ahead and heat up our chicken. So what I'm going to do here is take a little bit of enchilada sauce. I'll start off, I'm going to put some in the pan, and then I'm going to add some chicken to that. Let's take a handful of chicken, and we're going to stir that up. And this just gives the chicken a little extra flavor. I don't want to use too much, but just enough to coat it. So just stir it around a little bit, see what you think, and then I think I'm going to add just a little bit more to that, just to get a little more moist. Okay. So add another scoop into that. That should do it. This is going to give our chicken a really nice flavor, and this should only take just a few minutes to heat this up. In the meantime, while that's heating up, over here I have my oil. Now I poured just some vegetable oil into the pan, and it's probably about 1 inch deep. And I have the temperature, I'm going to put it on medium for right now. And I like to take my thermometer and stick it in there. Just get yourself a candy thermometer and just watch until the temperature gets up to 350 degrees, because that's really where it needs to be in order to make these. I've heated up my flour tortillas in my tortilla oven here in the microwave for 30 seconds on high. And my chicken's hot, so now we're ready to go ahead and put together our first chimichanga. So I'm going to start with some beans. Now it's key here not to put too much in here, otherwise you're going to have a problem when you cook it in the oil. So 1 little scoop is perfect. Put just a little bit of rice. And then I'll add a little bit of chicken to this. If you overstuff it, it's going to leak out into the oil and really make a mess, and you're not going to be happy with me. So I'll put some chicken in there, and then I'm going to put just a little bit of cheese. Now you want to make sure, like I said, you heat up your tortillas before you attempt this, because if you don't, they won't be soft and pliable. So wrap it up just like that, and now it's ready to go into the heat, into the oil. I checked the temperature of the oil with the thermometer. It's at 350 and going just a little above that, which is perfect. So we're going to go ahead. You're going to need 2 sets of tongs. It'll give you much more control over your chimichanga. So grab it like this. All right. And we're going to set it in the oil. And I'm just going to sit there for a minute, and it's only going to cook for just a minute or so. Now it's important that your oil is hot enough, like I said, otherwise you'll end up with a soggy burrito. So it's 30 seconds to a minute on each side, and you want to use 2 tongs when you turn it over. Let's have a look. So it's pretty dark, so I'm going to turn it over. Now sometimes they want to unfold on you like that one just did on me. So you want to hang on to it and keep it closed. That's why you got 2 tongs. And you can see it's getting nice and brown, so that's about all it takes, guys. So I have a plate over here with a paper towel on it. Let it drain a little bit and just set it down to cool. So now that you've seen how to fry the chimichangas in oil, now I'm going to show you the alternative way. It's a little bit healthier, and we're just going to bake these in the oven. So I have my oven preheated to 425 degrees, and we're going to go ahead, and we need a little butter for this too. So I'll set that aside right there. And we're just going to go ahead and make this basically the same way. We'll put a little bit of beans in there. Remember, don't overfill. A little bit of rice. Add some of our delicious hot chicken to that. Add a little bit more over here. A little bit of cheese. And we'll roll it right up. So bring the 2 ends in, fold it over, tuck it nice and tight, and push it down. And we'll place this on our cookie sheet right here. And we're going to coat it with our melted butter. So get some melted butter, get a brush, and really give it a nice coating. So now we're ready to put these in the oven. I have it preheated at 425, and we'll probably leave it in there for about 8 to 10 minutes. We'll check it in 10. Let's check the chimichangas after 10 minutes. All right, so they're still not quite as, this one here browned up pretty nicely. This one still is not quite as browned. The bottom is toasty. So what I want to recommend now is we're going to put our oven on to broil, and we're going to broil these a little bit, and that'll crisp up the top. I pulled the chimichangas out of the oven, and I want you to have a look-see here. I put them in the broiler, under the broiler for just 2 or 3 minutes. It made them nice and toasty. And so now we can go ahead and plate them up. So what we'll do here is I've got a little bit of lettuce. It's nice to put a little bit of lettuce down for these. And I'll set, here's a baked one. And I'll use one of the deep fried ones right here. Okay, so you can see them side by side. You can see how they look. This one right now feels a little bit more crunchy than this one, but nonetheless, okay. And now we'll put a little bit of sour cream. I'm gonna put a little more lettuce, just a little bit on top like that. Makes it look good. I've got a little bit of salsa here. You can drizzle that just over the top. A little bit of sour cream. A little dollop on there. And some of this fabulous guacamole. And you have a feast. That is looking beautiful. So that's how you make chicken chimichangas. As you can see, it was pretty simple. All you have to do is decide whether or not you want to deep fry them in the oil or bake them in the oven. So that's up to you. All right, well, thanks for watching. Be sure and subscribe to my channel and head on over to my website at cookingmexicanrecipes.com. I have a lot more recipes for you. And be sure and share this with your friends and give me a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.